why it's being so dumb today. Sorry, guys, it's being really crazy today. Like, I've tried iTunes. OBS is on its second restart today. Well, first restart, second time opening it up. I'll be on shortly once everything decides it wants to behave. But I'll be on shortly, guys, I promise. Oh, now it's really being dumb. Not saying, hey, it was a minute. What was it? I guess it says 15,000 milliseconds was exceeded in trying to connect to Twitch. Don't know why. Probably because I'm sitting here clicking on iTunes and it still hasn't loaded anything. I'm like waiting on stuff to load, and the entire bottom screen is. And there's this thing called Transmission Client that's on my desktop, and I have no idea what this means. I've never seen it before in my life, and all of a sudden it's on my taskbar. I'm like, what does this even mean? What is this? No, stop. Not responding. No, I don't know what you are. You're evil. Get away. Maybe it's some sort of. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's what it is. Well, I don't need that no more. Boink. Say goodbye. There you go. Boink. Let's see if we can get iTunes up and running for the third time. I'll be back with coffee. Maybe that'll make everything work better. Oh, let's also switch to the main screen so y'all can see. Oof, that's gross looking. Make sure it actually is working. Make sure the cameras are exactly right. There's nothing that's going to give me a throwing curveball. Oh, but my camera's bright again. Don't know why. I've adjusted it 3 times. Laptop cam. Double click on it. Hey, small blueberry. Hi, sorry. I'm struggling to get everything up and running. It is being a big pain tonight. I've double clicked on it twice, and I still have no access to my camera. Here we go. I apologize for why it looks so bleached. I have no idea why it looks so bleached. Configure video. I've adjusted it like a bunch, and it is not behaving. I did this last time. There we go. Much better. Apply. Okie dokie. There we go. Now it's finally at least halfway close to being decent. Now if I can get some music, here we go. Now we've got music. And there we go. Oh. I don't know what's going on today. Like, everything was like, I even restarted my computer. I restarted my computer at 8 o'clock. And I didn't put it on the internet, so all of a sudden I had to be like, oh, internet. And then OBS is like, I don't know what internet is. Let's connect with Twitch. It says no stream activity. I guess I go do this every feed. There we go. I don't know. Cheered 10 bits. Yeah, there we go. Everything's up and running now. Okay, I'm taking a brief break. I'm going to go get my coffee, and then we will continue. So thanks, guys, for coming in. I'm sorry it's later than I hoped. I was hoping to have the screen set up, and it was like, everything was being a butt. Everything was just being a pain. Okay, so I did all this, though. So, back. I mean, there's 2 green check marks, so isn't that saying I did it? It says do it later, but I know you did it. I did the bound activation. We did all this. It's already done. Okay, get started. We already did this. It's already done, guys. See? It's already done. I have 2 green check marks. We're done. Okay, I'm going to break, guys, so I can get my coffee. I'll be right back, I promise. Okay, I still don't know why it keeps saying I haven't set this stuff up. I have set this stuff up. Are you sure you want to leave? Yes, leave, because you're not doing anything important. Hi guys, sorry. What's it say? I see something in the chat. I'll be back. I'm so sorry. Where'd you go? I'm sorry. I had to get coffee. Oh. I apologize. It's been a... I thought I did the restart early enough, and then everything decided to sabotage me at the last second. All right, so let's get started. Oh, I picked up my marker. Shouldn't have done that. Well, that's over with. Let's take a minute to talk, just because I need a moment to breathe. All right, so this should be the last day I'm working on this. I had to get some coffee. I was kind of tired. Just in general, it's been a very frustrating day. I think it's like every day is a very frustrating day. Every Friday, but it's just work. This is a good time to relax and unwind and just, fuel the tension. There we go. That's a better lighting, isn't it? There we go. Apply. It's just better now. I was looking into some stuff for the stream. I saw someone talking about something called a stream deck, and I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh no, but that's an expensive toy. Not right now. We're not doing that. It's this expensive little thing that you put up. It's like $140, $150. You push buttons. I'm like, I can just do that on my computer for right now and save the $150. Thank you very much. So I feel like it's one of those things that's, good for big name streamers and not necessary for me. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Think about starting a Discord. Real talk, guys. Think about starting a Discord. I don't know. I really thought about doing it. It's a lot of responsibility, and I don't really understand Discord very well. So it might epically crash. A lot of folks are loving my Baby Yoda when I visit folks' rooms and they ask what we're working on, and I show them this. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. So I feel good. I feel encouraged. I just need to get started with some stuff because I really need to get this going. It should have been done like 2 weeks ago, and I'm still on it. I really feel like I need an eraser, I think. I need the eraser I left downstairs. I might can make do with the white eraser. So we'll try that. But anyway, let's get started. Now that it's 15 minutes late. Gosh, I hate that it's 15 minutes late. I really do hate that. Anyway, guys, I wanted to get started. I'm sorry about the delay. I hate that it's delayed. There should be a white eraser in here. I'm looking for a white eraser before I start because honestly, another thing too, I want to talk about another thing that's kind of cool is one of my friends, one of my real life friends, used his Amazon Prime to subscribe to me last time, and I feel like I said it poorly, but what I really mean to say is I'm very grateful when folks use their Amazon Prime, and I hope I said it right because what I mean is, I really like when people I don't like to waste things, and Amazon Prime, we all have Amazon Prime. Well, all of us that have Amazon Prime have a free account we can use to subscribe to a Twitch channel. So a lot of people don't even use Twitch or watch Twitch, much less subscribe to it. I mean, I watch Twitch and I have Amazon Prime, and I never connected it to my Amazon Amazon to my Twitch while I had it. So there's an opportunity there that can where people are just throwing away a free thing that could be benefiting someone. So when my friend used his Amazon Prime to subscribe to me, I was like, yes, something that's not being used for anything going towards something useful now. And that's really hot coffee. Ouch, that burned. But yeah, it's for me, it makes me very happy to see something be used in a useful way. It makes me very happy. Also, what makes me very happy is that when I rebooted my computer, I took the opportunity to remove my portable hard drive, which means I have one more USB port available. I've been lugging this thing around for a long time because it won't deactivate USB-wise. For some reason, my computer does not recognize the turn off function of the USB drive. It says the drive's in use, come back later, and I have nothing open from the drive. So I don't know what it is, if it's a glitch with the drive or what, but it can never be removed by USB removal systems. So I'm just glad when I reboot, when I rebooted, I could, officially unplug the thing safely without causing any kind of conflict, which makes me very, very happy. So now I can move my laptop around a lot easier instead of having to lug around the USB hard drive gingerly with the whole thing. So thank goodness for that. Thank goodness. Well, let's get started because I don't really have much to talk about except that it's just been, oh, it's been a week. Wow, I'm so, oh, that's a white t-shirt. I was like, I'm so bright. I mean, I'm still so bright. Let's see if I can adjust that just a little bit more, guys. I'm not happy with that. It's super bright. I'm like bleached out. Configure video. The contrast. Maybe if I, nope, that's not going to work. That's too low. There we go. Let's lower the brightness. And gamma it up. Gamma it up. No. Contrast it up a little bit. That's a little better. Yeah, it's a little better. That's okay. Apply. Man, this thing has very subtle gradients. You make one little mistake the wrong direction, you're bleached out. You're washed out. All right, let's get started. I will still be reading chat, guys. I just will be switching to my main focus screen, which is the full video, so I can get started. Now, I actually have the photo reference pulled up this time, and hopefully it will behave itself because I have nothing open in Photoshop, and nothing's been open in Photoshop since the restart except the photo reference. So let's hope everything, knock on wood, goes well. As I've said before, I showed this off to a lot of folks, and I was not pleased with the background. So let me go ahead and start blending out this background just a little bit more. I've been dying to do that since last week. Let me tell you guys, it has been a major point of contention for Jason. I hate using myself in third person, but I did it again, didn't I? Yeah, that marker's dry. This must be the older one. Yeah, this one's older, I think. Ooh, ba, 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 ba. Here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, that one's more full. Oh yeah, they can tell that really moved the paper around. That'll be better. Another thing is I have a lot of folks saying, oh my gosh, I love the texture you did on that. So I'm like, okay, I like the texture myself. I just need to put more texture there. So that's going to be the W3, guys. So I got to find the W3 real quick. Or the W4 might be full. I can't find W3. There we go. There's W3. I think this is already W3 level. But let me try putting some stuff in there and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. It might be W3. People are like, oh my gosh, I love the textures you did on it. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to do a little bit of texture. See, there's kind of a fleecy thing, so it's going to be like this, you know. A lot of the lines are going to be kind of slanted to the side here, exactly like this. Trying to do them a little bit more helter-skelter than a row, because it's not, you know, fleeces is never in a row. There we go, much better. And then these things. Stupid. There we go, much better. Much, much better. Much better. Much, much, much better. Much, much better. Wow, I just left a friend hanging. I just remembered I left a friend completely hanging. I texted him, hey, what's up? No, she was like, hey, busy with work, how you been doing? And completely left her hanging after I was the one that initiated conversation. What a dummy. I think a song from, what's her name? St. Vincent. Regret. Yeah, I regretted that I completely left her hanging. My bad, friend. If you're out there watching, my friend, which you might be, you used to stream, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to leave you hanging, friend. Did not mean to leave you hanging. It's a pretty garbagey thing to do on accident, even. It was on accident, I know that. There we go. I would hardly have initiated a conversation. Psych! Ducking out on you. I mean, I could have done that, but I would never do that to anybody. I was encouraged. Somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I bought those Copic markers you recommended. I'm like, I hope they work out good. I think you'll like them. She bought a couple of the colors. I think her name was Christine. So she bought some colors, and that made me excited. to see what she's going to produce. Hopefully she'll produce some stuff and share it in chat and stuff. I mean, I don't expect her to share stuff tonight. I mean, we all have busy lives, so I doubt that, I doubt she. If she did, hopefully she'll come in and she'll be like, "Hey, this is what I made." I'm like, "Cool, share it in your stream." In my stream, share it. Oh, that was complete catastrophe. There we go. Now, what do I want? 3 again. I'm basically looking at the parts that look kind of decrepit, need a little bit of a touch-up. 3. I need to put some 3 here, which is some strokes like that. There we go. I've been watching some new streams from current streamers. Some stuff that is being released now, and I've also been looking at Minecraft stuff. The new 1.17 update is in the process of being built. I'm excited about that. However, I'm also apprehensive. I know there's been some fallout from the community in regards to what happens next with Minecraft, meaning it's Caves update, and I'm kind of apprehensive because the problem is it's going to fundamentally change the underground layers of Minecraft, which it's not a bad thing, but the problem is knowing how it's going to affect older maps. That's going to be the concern for me, because I have an older map and I don't intend to give it up. So the question is, how is that going to impact the gameplay of a map? Maps that cannot support that the new information of the new maps, because right now all maps in Minecraft end at what's called was it Z? I think the Z-axis. Z0 at the lowest. It's Z1 through 5. You can't even penetrate most of those rocks because it's what's called bedrock. It is a solid rock that cannot be mined in Minecraft. But then you get on top of that, you get the fact that they're going to add layered to -64. So that means it's going to go to 0 and then switch back to -1, -2, and go down to 64. So it's another 64 layers of depth. But the problem is, what do you do with maps that already have bedrock stuck where you cannot mine? And so that's been the big question among the community: is where are we going with this? How are old maps going to be made useful still if the new maps have, if the new maps make use of something that goes below bedrock? I mean, what do you do? Because the stuff's called grimstone. It's supposed to be basically everything's supposed to be solid grimstone from 0 below, and everything in between is supposed to be like a mix of grimstone and cobblestone and regular stones you see in regular stone that you see in caves. So now the question remains: how are we going to replace bedrock to the degree that you can actually, you don't have to worry about, how does that work? Because you can't, again, right now, if the maps were to change immediately at this very second, grimstone would be inaccessible, because grimstone would be beneath bedrock, where you and I can't get to because bedrock is unmineable. So are they going to do some sort of an update that replaces the bedrock with grimstone? I think that the solution they should do is this: they should take all the existing stone, all the existing bedrock, I think, should be replaced by grimstone, and then new bedrock should be placed beneath that, I feel like. So in other words, if in maps where you already have bedrock established, leave the bedrock the way it is, interchange the bedrock to grimstone, and then immediately put new bedrock beneath that. So you still preserve the idea of having the bedrock at the bottom, but now it's at a different bottom. You move the bottom down and replace 1-to-1 with grimstone at the top layers, where it normally should have been in new maps. The stone, so in other words, you're going to basically replace 1-to-1. There we go. It's much better. I want there so bad for that to be a thing. That way, we don't have to worry about what's going to happen to the grimstone and all this other stuff after the fact. Because that's my one worry I have is like, okay, so what happens to my map that has bedrock in it? Now it's blocking off my future Grimstone? No, that's not fair. Yeah, they're going to figure it out. I know. It's like, it's kind of it would be a major oversight if they didn't fix that. But at the same time, I'm still like, how are they going to mess up my current map now? Not that I'm in love with the bedrock being the bottom layer. I'm not. But again, it leaves me with a concern of how are we going to get this for us plebs that already have existing maps. Because, I mean, I don't mind making a new map, but I don't have years of playing on this one map. I've played on this map probably for the majority of when I've had bedrock. It's so old. It was before the Village and Pillage update, so it still has the classic village. Well, it did still have the classic village, but I went back and retrofit it, not making it like the new villages, but basically what I did was I made new buildings. The only problem was it was all overrun by zombies and stuff. So, did I just take out my microphone? No, good. So it was all overrun. There was no existing villages. I had to repopulate. Boy, that was a fun endeavor. How do you repopulate a village, guys? I found out. There's so many steps. You have to actually have a village bell, 2 villagers that have to be willing to breed. So you have to have them fully content, muy contento. And then once they're fully committed to breeding, they don't just go to it. You have to have other factors involved as well. So that was a fun thing, figuring out how that works. Like, you have to fill up their inventories, so they're willing to breed. Then you have to make sure that they actually have a, this is an old kneaded eraser. I'm hoping it doesn't stain the paper. Doesn't look like it's going to, but it doesn't look like it's very effective either. It's somewhat effective. Yeah, it's a little effective. Good. Yeah, the background's a little bit more to my liking now. Yeah, it's a little wrinkly because it's still wet. Like I said, the air conditioner, the dehumidifier didn't work like I thought it would. All right, so back to... And after real talk, guys, I really feel like I'm going to miss Baby Yoda. He's been my project for the last 2 weeks. It's been a fun little project. A lot of people have loved it. And again, my whole goal of drawing Baby Yoda is because 1, I have never drawn him, and 2, I knew it would be a very popular thing if I did it right. And I felt like I would be able to do it justice, so I wasn't worried about that part. But at the same time, I've got some other things I want to do. I obviously want to work on my comic character. Still haven't worked on that in a great length of time. But also, I had a point redemption. I think it was the last time. And I owe him a drawing. That is, Matt is losing it. That redeemed that. So, I owe him a drawing. Which I've been thinking about. Like I said, it's been one of those weeks. It's just time to decompress, you know? It's a good decompress day, I think. It's just been, like I said, that decompress day. And I'm just excited to just chill and work on Baby Yoda. Oh, and also, real talk, guys. No spoilers. I am not super happy with this week's WandaVision. And I won't say why, because that would, I think, be a spoiler. But I'm not excited about it. I watched it and I was like, oh, not what I was hoping for in this episode. At the same time, has it been a well-told story? Yes. Would I watch it again? Probably. It's certainly entertaining, but the turns it took, I was like, not my favorite. And again, it doesn't have to be my favorite to be, you know, the writers want to go that way. That's the way the writers want to go, whether I liked it or not. But it's just, I'll be honest, I'm not happy. Not happy at all. And that's, again, I can't say why, because that would be extremely spoilerific. But if you watch it, you'll probably be like, oh, I know what he means. Because, you know, hopefully you will. Because I'm hopefully well, I hate to say I'm hoping I'm not the only one. I don't want to be I would rather be the only person that didn't like it. I don't want to be like, I hope you all guys hated it too, so you can see what I mean. That's basically what I was almost saying for a minute there. And I'm like, no, I don't want everybody else to hate it. I just wasn't a fan. Like, I was like, I don't know. It just felt so underwhelming of a buildup. And there were some people that were, I think, were hinting at what this was going to be. And they were like, this is what's going to be like, guys. I promise you. And they were kind of right. And I'm like, please don't let it be that. Please let them just be, you know, people that are poo-pooing and not liking the series and, you know, being killjoys. And I was like, no, they're not. And that's not to say there wasn't some cool moments. Oh my gosh, there were so many cool moments. But the sigh. All we need in closed captioning is just a sigh. Jason sighs. I don't have a closed caption. I want to do a closed caption though. A couple streamers I watch have that, and I'm like, I would really like to have that closed captioning. That would be pretty cool. All right, let's do this real quick. All right. I need cool gray 1. Cool gray 1. Where are you at? In the mix of colors that I have. Oh, this is 0. Come on, Jay. I can't wait to get this done so I can move my camera. I want to reshoot my trailer. I want to shoot a unboxing video. I want to do so much, but I'm on hold while I shoot this because I can't move the camera. So it's pretty much tied my hands as to what I can make right now, and it's kind of making me really upset. Because I really want to make so much more content. Not a bunch. I mean, I want to do an unboxing video so I can actually start using the item that's in the unboxing. I also got a really cool prize from someone else in the Twitch community. Blueberry. Madam Blueberry or Madam Berry, I think is her name. I won her sticker prize. And it's a really lovely sticker. Really tiny, but it's pretty cool. Hey, Matt. Sorry, I just now saw your message. I hope it hasn't been sitting there for a while. It's been one of those days. OBS decided it was going to take forever to get booted up, even though I rebooted my computer, and it was one of those things. How are you today, man? What you working on? I saw your poll, and I voted in it on Instagram. You all guys need to vote in his poll. Matt has a poll that he's doing. I don't know if it ran out yet. It's getting close to it. I think it was 9 hours old when I saw it, and so that can put it in danger of being past it by the time you guys see it. But you should check out Matt. He's doing some awesome stuff. And again, moment to boast about what we're working on. Matt and I are working on a podcast. We are recording episodes, get ahead of ourselves, so that we won't be stretched too thin if we don't have a chance to upload new episodes. So Matt, in his very smart, wise ways, decided that we should record early, get as many episodes we can in the can, so that we can get a little bit of a backlog going. That we won't be overwhelmed. So yeah. So we got that going on. Which is fun. On top of our other projects, Matt's doing some stuff of his own. I think he's working on a dragon egg that he's going to be doing sometime soon, I hope. And then, of course, his own other content that he might be doing. He did those wonderful goblets. If you tuned in and saw that. So he did those goblets. And, like I said, the thing we talked about a second ago. He's working on the dragon eggs and the goblet painting. Reshaping the nail real quick because I didn't like the shape of it. All right. But yeah, man, I was talking non-spoilerific about how I wasn't pleased with this week's WandaVision. I'm not going to tell you why because, again, that would be a spoiler. Working on my egg forms for tomorrow night. It doesn't say you voted. I totally did. I voted for Bright, I think. I think you had Realistic and Bright, and I went for Bright. It won't say that I voted. It'll just say you had so many results. And if you click on the results, it'll tell you who was a respondent. So it won't say Jason specifically voted. It'll say, if you look into the story, like the engagement of the story, it'll tell you how many people viewed it, and then and then if anybody responded, it'll tell you what they responded. I may have been the first one to respond because it said 100%. So either 2 people said the same thing I did, or I'm scratching my ankle and I can see my headphones on screen. That'd be funny when you see it on the camera. I could probably cut it out too because, the drawing didn't move. If the drawing moved, then I wouldn't be able to cut it out, but I didn't move the drawing, so I could always excise that part of the footage out. But yeah, it's weird how it doesn't tell you who voted on your polls until you pull it up in like the story analytical thing. It's like Instagram doesn't want you to know what you're succeeding in unless you dive deep, which is pretty stupid. Speaking of which, I heard another thing in the community, which was that Twitch, restrict that, reverse that. Twitter is dabbling with a exclusive content, meaning they're thinking about making you pay to see certain tweets. Only 3 saw it, 1 voted. I swear I voted for it, Matt. Maybe refresh it. Instagram's been showing me old stuff in dumb ways. Like, I was going to Facebook the other day, and I was seeing posts that were 2 days old that I had already responded to. And says, hey, this person posted on this. I'm like, yeah, 2 days ago. I mean, come on. I already responded to that. Yeah, see, look, I voted. I can prove it. It says bright, 100%. I must be the only person that voted for it then. Because I see my vote on my screen. It says I voted for it. Unless that was the results you posted. Oh, I was the one. I was going to say, dude. I'm not going to leave you hanging if I don't have an opinion, I won't vote. I'm not going to skew a vote over something I don't have an opinion on. But if I have an opinion, you best believe I'm going to voice that opinion. I'm like, hey, yo, this is a cool thing. Y'all need to be doing this. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to say anything because, what? No, only time I won't say anything is if I don't have a concerned opinion about the matter. I'm not going to just speak just to speak and skew results of, if somebody's like, man, you should really do this. I also asked in Nick Discord, had someone vote over there as well. Oh, really? Cool. She's a good person. She's a really good person. She really is. Her community, I told her the other day because she messaged me and said, thank you for, all the raids you've been doing. And I said, look, my community, I said outright, I just said, look, my community loves your community. They love stopping in. But I said, I'll give you an example. I said, when I said, hey guys, it's time to raid, before I'd even pulled up my Twitch to see who was even on, I had 2 people in mind saying, Necky's on. And so, I'm not saying that to be like being weird. I'm just like, I'm excited. That's good though. Cause I mean, she's a fun artist. She's got a lot of creativity. Her imagination, I can think of no other word but fertile. She has a very fertile imagination. No one does the stuff she does. I mean, what did she have? She had this witch holding a piglet. Why? Why a piglet? Because she's like, her reasoning, no one else had done a piglet. It's perfect. It's airtight. There's no way you could be like, that's dumb. You're like, no, that's right, Nick. And no one drew a witch with holding a pig. You're absolutely right. That's unique. No one's ever done the stuff she does. She's a very unique voice. She's a very pleasant person. What I thought was really sweet would be like, oh, thank you for sending all those people on your raids. I'm like, thank you for being a place my folks can go after a raid. You know what I mean? She's probably not on tonight. She's usually not on the weekends because this is Australian Saturday right now because she's in Down Under, which I won't be too stupid with my fake accents because I can do some things. But I won't, because I don't want to seem like I'm diminishing someone's ethnicity at all. Not at all. In fact, usually if I do an impression, it's because I admire somebody, not because I'm trying to make fun of them. Unless it's like a TV character. Like if I'm doing like a celebrity. Like if I'm doing the Joker, I'm not because I admire the Joker, it's because the Joker's. Oh, no. I don't know about that. One thing that caught me, one thing I do say I picked up from her a little bit was because one time I tuned in, somebody said something. She goes, "Oh no!" I was like, "That accent's got to be Australian." I heard the twist of the no. It wasn't "oh no," it was "oh no." I was like, "Okay, I think you're Australian." Because I used to have a friend that was Aussie. We had a falling out, but I used to have a friend that was Aussie. Oz. That's another thing too. Australians will often refer to Australia as Oz. O-Z. Is your net spotty? Oh, is your net spotty? I thought you said I did necky. My neck was spot on. My bad. Yeah, I've been having some real butt issues with my internet. Like, big time. Are you saying because you can't see me? I've dropped 5.3% of frames at a total of 3,567. But at the same time, I've been having issues with my internet. Is that what you mean? Is internet issues? Because I've been having some issues. Are you also likewise having issues? I had to reset my router today, and I don't know the impact that had on fixing the sitch. I'll just say the sitch. Oh, I froze big time. Ooh. Oh no. I don't like that. It makes me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. No. Nope. Partner go 10 bits. Okay. Cheered 10 cheered bits. Wow. Cheered 10 bits. That was a tongue twister, guys. It wasn't even supposed to be. La-dee-da-dee-da-da-dee. I don't know. I say this every time I hear this piece, but this piece is very reminiscent of the Gymnopée number 1, by Eric Satie, the French composer. And supposedly he'd written those pieces to mock how a lot of classical music sounds very much the same. Because there's very minuscule differences between the Gymnopée 1 and the Gymnopée 3. I mean, it's tiny. And some people say, oh no, that was just the style he wanted to encapsulate, so he had a very narrow style. I don't know which. It's hard to tell with Satie. Eric Satie was just... He was an absurdist composer. He really was. I mean... He would do things that would sound good, and you look at it like, wait a second, why is it like this, though? Because it was absurdist. There was nothing to it. There was no reasoning behind what he did a lot of times. He was just being absurd. He was just being the quintessential and that happened a lot in the 20th century. Composers too, a lot of them were mocking conventions because classical music was getting really stiff. Yeah, by 1890s standards, classical music was getting stiff. You don't think hating on classical music being boring was a new thing? Guess what? They were mocking it when it was being written. Come on. You have Eric Satie making fun of conventions, but we ain't gonna just sit there and let people write old boring music. We're gonna make something out of this. We're gonna make a joke of it. But yeah, he's got some cool music, Eric Satie. My favorite piece, though, as far as French composers being whimsical, would have to be Camille Saint-Saëns, The Carnival of the Animals, because it's so good. Like, the animals are all little caricatures, and it's really worth it, even just for that. But also, if you know a little bit about classical music, you know there's all kinds of puns. There's a piece called The Elephant. It's bum 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 bum. The thing is, the funny part, the part that makes that part hilarious, isn't that it's a string bass playing the tune of an elephant. The thing is, the tune is actually from Mozart, and it's a soprano area. So he takes this light, fluffy little Mozart piece and turns it into an piece portraying an elephant. And keep in mind, it's supposed to be sung with the highest female voice. And he's taking it and putting the lowest voice in the orchestra. And it's like, oh my gosh, did he literally just take that piece and stand it on its head from graceful beauty to awkward, just lugubriousness? I don't know, I guess that's not even the right word, but I just like saying lugubrious. But then, see, the thing is with Carnival of the Animals, he's got all these brilliant pieces, like the kangaroos, which is not a parody of anything. He's got the aquarium, which everybody hears. Everybody hears the aquarium. If you look up the aquarium from Carnival of the Animals, you hear that, and you're like, oh, I've heard that in so many commercials. The Swan, of course, which is his cello piano solo. I mean, cello solo accompanied by piano. And that's the one that goes... It's so pleasant. So that one's beautiful. And it's like right in the middle of all these satirical pieces that are mocking, other classical composers or conventions. And not conventions, but I mean, when I say conventions, I don't mean like comic book conventions. I mean like accepted ideas conventions. So, like for example, there's one called there's one section of Carnival of the Animals. Yes, one section of Carnival of the Animals called Pianists, which of course is making fun of piano players, and it's literally just scales played poorly. Like, it's literally scales played poorly. And it's literally look it up, it's hilarious. And there was a section called personages with Personages with long ears. I guess he didn't want to say donkeys, or he's calling people that are jerks donkeys, one of the two. But it's literally, it's like donkeys braying. It's these strings going like a hee-haw. It's so great. But my favorite is when he parodies himself. Like, he's not above his own ridicule of himself. He parodies himself. There's a piece called Danse Macabre, which was a portrayal of death awakening the skeletons at midnight for a dance. So it's a waltz. And of course the string, the violin, solo violin comes and goes. So it's a really creepy little piece. Well, in Carnival of the Animals, what's he do? He makes a parody of it, and it's called Fossils. So the original piece is about skeletons awakening. So what does he do? He uses it to portray fossils, which are literally skeletons put in museums to make them look like they came back to life again, right? So he's making fun of his own piece of music by parodying in Carnival of the Animals, as a portrayal of fossils, a piece where he had bones come to life previously. So brilliant. He changes it from a waltz to a 4/4 piece. So instead of it being a waltz, it kind of lumbers a little bit more. And then he has all these splendid parodies. It basically, like somebody said before, it's like all fossils of music, like all these old tunes. Like there's even Twinkle Twinkle Little Star in there. And it's like, wait, did he just put in dun 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 dun? And you're like, he literally does. He puts in that. I think it's called Nicole de Lune, which is a French tune. La da 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 dee da ya da 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 da. And they're all buried in this thing. So if you sit there and you listen to it, like, oh, he put that tune in there again, didn't he? So there's all these little clever little references to other music that I saw another part of this drawing I needed to tweak, and I think it was here. But so yeah, he basically is making fun of his own piece. He's making fun of everybody else's pieces. Referencing old classic pieces, calling them fossils. Just such a great little humorous piece. That's Too Dark W6. So yeah, you're working on your eggs. I was gonna say, why aren't you chatting very much? Am I hogging in the chat too much? Sometimes I feel like I talk too much, guys. And it might be that, you just listen to me ramble on. But at the same time, I do like reading chat. So if you have something to say, definitely don't hesitate. But I think Matt is busy doing his builds. So that's when I was getting self-conscious, saying, I'm rambling, aren't I? And it's like, no, Matt's working on his builds. I also should note that Matt and I do a podcast together. So if he really wanted a word in edgewise, he knows he can get it at any moment he wanted it anyway. So there's that. It's not like me Matt wants to talk. Ow. He knows I'd let him in. Even if I was wanted to say something, I'd be like, nope. He has the floor. I hope I'm not froze more, though. That's the other concern, too. I'm a new soul like... Okay. I gotta go 5 now. I do that every time this song comes on in my head. Okay, good. I want to make sure. Just a little quick temperature check of everybody. Speaking of which, how crazy is that? I'm in South Carolina, guys. And it was, when I woke up yesterday, it was about 40. 47, I think it was 46, 48. I asked Google, I said, Google, what temperature is it? And it's like, the temperature is currently 48 degrees. Because I have it set to the Sydney voice. I'm talking about Australian accents. I mean, I've got my home Google set to that. So I said, okay. 30 minutes later, I said, okay, Google, what temperature is it? And she says, the temperature is now 50 degrees. I was like, wait, what? It went up 2 degrees in 30 minutes? Yeah, we don't need the heater on. Because I usually turn on the gas fireplace to warm up in the mornings. And wouldn't you know, the temperature went up to 74 yesterday. 74. It's glorious. So today I wake up, it's like, okay, Google, what's the temperature? She's like, the temperature is 45 degrees. Okay, great. Okay, Google, what's the projected high? Projected high is 49 degrees. So let me see if I got this straight. Today's high will be about the same as yesterday's low. Yeah, that fireplace is going on right now. So, welcome to the psycho world of South Carolina's ever-changing weather patterns, man. 30. We went from 40, and the thing is, it was high in the 40s, low in the 40s. So we had a 10-degree spread at least. I mean, at the very most, a 10-degree spread. which wasn't at all. We didn't even have the 10-degree spread. It was like within 10 degrees. The high was in the 40s, the low was in the 40s. Yesterday we had a low in the 40s and a high in the 70s. What in the world, guys? Not to get too political, but I saw a very funny tweet, and it was from Ted Cruz in 2016. He says, "I'll believe in climate change when Texas freezes over." That tweet didn't age well. Whoops. And the crazy part is now that the storms have passed and everything's kind of getting more back to normal, Texas got in the 80s this week, guys. So that's good. A lot of the crap they got last week is pretty much like melted off, but at the same time, it doesn't repair everything either. So they got a lot of infrastructure to repair, but at least they got good, clear weather to do it, I think, That's the good news. So it seems like they're getting more to a normal. Thank goodness. My thoughts have been with them. I've got a streamer friend that's staying in Texas right now. She's originally not from Texas, but she was staying with her boyfriend just for a little bit, and she was iced in with him. Good news was that it wasn't hard hit in her area, but at the time her boyfriend had to go out of town to Florida, so he was out of town when the storm hit, and he was caught outside and couldn't get back in. The only flight he could get was back into Dallas, and that's not where they are. So she had to take a 9-hour drive to go pick him up, because it was not because it took 9 hours from where they were, but because she was going to take 9 hours because she was originally from Connecticut, and she knows you don't drive fast in the snow. So she says, I'm taking 9 hours to do a 4-hour drive because I know it's going to be insane. So my thoughts were with them. But also, too, I was proud of her for knowing her limits. She was like, I ain't driving fast in this. This is dangerous. I know. I grew up in Connecticut. No. So she knew, she'd planned in the disaster time, which was beautiful. She's on her name's Hakona. She does mostly Magic the Gathering, but she also does some art streams. She's been an awesome person. Like, even when I wasn't streaming, she'd shout me out. I'm like, Kona, you don't have to stream me. You don't have to shout me out. I don't stream anymore. And she's like, well, you're still a friendo. And I'm like, oh, she's been like pretty awesome. I don't raid her very much because her stream can be very colorful. She has a lot of energy at 1 o'clock in the morning for East Coast folks. So, and I know a lot of my viewers are East Coast, but she's awesome people. Like, I'm not saying that to say she's not a good people. It's just she's a lot of energy. And I mean, I tuned into her streams. She was like, let's go. And I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, Kona. I got to go to bed. But she's always been a big supporter of our stream. So if you like Magic the Gathering, you don't mind a little bit of language, a little bit of colorfulness, you might like Hey Kona. She was being teased, I think, to be a part of the Magic the Gathering like development team, or like at least test group. Like, they'd send her cards before they went live to see how she'd play them in the stream to test them, and kind of get the community's appetite whetted for the next cards. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do a quick shout out for Hey Kona, even though she's not present, because every time I go into her room, she is there to shout me out. But that's her. But she's just super cool. Like, as much as she's kind of out there and a wild child, she really is. But again, I'm not saying those things. I'm saying those things because they're true. But she's been a good friend to me in the Twitch community. When I had no friends in the Twitch community, she was my friend, and that goes a long way with me. Like, because again, I mean, Matt, I don't mean you, because I mean, I've been on Twitch longer than you've been on Twitch. Not as long as I've known you. I mean, here's the thing. I knew you outside the real world before you came to Twitch. And then I knew Kona primarily because of Twitch. Like, I met her at a convention one time, but I knew her primarily because of her streaming. So, and also because we were Facebook friends. So, like I said, with Kona, I wonder if she paired me out of their friends. I realize I haven't seen any updates from her on Facebook. I just assumed, meh. But again, we've only met each other once in real life, so I wouldn't be super heartbroken if she unfriended me. But I also know some things are private, so, I'm not upset about that if she did. I'm kind of curious now. I want to check, see if she unfriended me. She probably did it as a pair down. What the heck? Who's messaging me? What are you doing to me? I don't remember what her last name is anymore. Because I'm so used to calling her by Hey Kona. Again, I'm not oh God, 17 updates. What the heck? What the heck? What the heck, fire? I'm not used to opening my Facebook at 17, but probably it's because of messages I got. My Instagram linked to my Facebook, and now I can get to shut up. Yeah, she deleted her Facebook. She could have deleted her Facebook. I think she either deleted her Facebook. Or something. Or I just don't remember her actual human name anymore, and it's not Kona. I thought it was Kona. I mean, there's the point where... Yeah, the only people who've been able to get the vaccine are... Yeah, the Governor McMaster lists COVID-19 last call rule on South Carolina restaurant alcohol sales. But we still can't get the vaccine. Just saying that. We're not going to be political here, guys, okay? But that's fascinating, right? Danny Phillips shared IGN's post. Okay, never mind. This is nothing important. All right, so... Yeah, and Kona is part of this stream team that is very colorful. It's led by a DJ who is nothing less than colorful. One time I was dropped into a stream through a raid, and I was like, it's a guy that's shirtless wearing suspenders with a girl who's not even scantily dressed. She wasn't at all. She was, respectably dressed. And not like the kind of girl you'd expect to see it, like, dancing next to a DJ. You usually expect to see some girl in, like, hot pants, and, she's about 20, and maybe parts of her are plastic. We don't know. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, she's been enhanced or whatever. But because I'm not hating on people that do those sorts of surgeries. I'm not at all. I have a lot of friends that have done that. It's your body, it's your choice. But at the same time, you know what I'm talking about. You'd see like, really thin models, go dancing. Not in his stream. Nope. A regular looking lady in a regular looking clothes. I was like, what is this DJ stream? What even is this? The DJ himself is this huge guy. I mean, he's immense. He's just doing his thing, and I'm like, okay, this is way different than any other music stream I've tuned in on Twitch. And it was lit. It was like Party City in there. I was like, jeez, no wonder that guy leads that team. It's like the man, the legend, or whatever they say on t-shirts and stuff. So I just watched a New Girl, and that was something popped up. It was the man, the legend. Really? It was the boyfriend tee from the evening before. Gosh, like I said, this time watching through New Girl, I've been impressed with like I said, Winston's character. I never knew how much, like, I don't know. I guess I never cared for Winston. I didn't hate him. I was just like, But watching this time through, I've just been impressed with Winston in general. His character's well written. He has quirks. He's often kind of misunderstood, but and also too, the one thing I really love about Winston is when the going gets tough, he's the one that's there for everybody. Like when people don't have it figured out, Winston's like, I got it figured out. This is what you all need to be doing. So even like Winston's advice will suck, except the time when everybody needs him, and then his advice is spot on, perfect. So I'm like, Winston's pretty much the bomb. And I also kind of related to Winston because he had this thing where he didn't want to fill in a test. He didn't want to take his, his police exam test. And I'm like, I know how it is to not want to try something because you're afraid of failure. I think we all kind of do that, but I know especially, I feel like that's something that's kind of near and dear to my heart a little bit. I don't like the way this is looking, guys. Oh, I dropped 7% of frames. What's going on here? Image rotate 180 degrees so I can look at it from upside down because I'm not feeling like I can get the full range of values on his hand. I feel like I need to detach myself from the actual image. Oh yeah, I can see it now. A little bit better. I feel like I should be dancing like an idiot to this song. Oh boy, oh boy. Got a lot on my mind. Nothing bad, just a lot of stuff I gotta make sure. I've got a lot of things flying around. I gotta make sure that I'm juggling a lot of things. I'm making sure, I'm hoping none of it hits the ground. If that makes sense. There we go. It's a lot better. Boink! Because now I'm also thinking about what I'm going to draw next. And, of course, the big thing is I've got Matt's drawing to do. I've got his channel point reward to fulfill. That isn't changing. That is definitely on the list. What? What's sh about? Why are you shushing me? Don't you shush me. Am I not supposed to talk about that? That's your channel points, dude. Everybody was here. Everybody saw that, okay? What are you talking about, my man? What's about? You gotta fill me in, my man. I don't get hints, okay? I don't get hints. You're gonna have to tell me. You have to tell me, man. Tell me. Okay, there goes the stream relaxation. Oh, right. Sorry. My bad. It's not a huge spoiler. I think it only takes place in one episode, but It's kind of something they reference a bit. I keep forgetting you're in it and you're not that far along. I am so sorry, man. I don't mean to do that. Have you seen the new WandaVision? And if you have, no spoilers. If you haven't, also, again, no spoilers. Because I'm not that guy to do spoilers. Not intentionally, anyway. I keep forgetting, man. I'm so sorry. I really am sorry. I don't mean to be that guy. Especially when it comes to New Girl. I really do like New Girl, and I'm going to love it even more again. I've always loved Zooey Deschanel. I've always thought she was a very talented person, but watching it this through, I mean, I'm glad, because like I'm watching this time through, and I'm like, yeah, I used to think it was just a show to carry Zooey Deschanel. But now that I'm watching it through this time, I'm like, no, they gave everybody equal opportunity. Like, they really did. Like, I figure I think they knew coming in that, it's like, yeah, it's focused around her, obviously. That's why it's called New Girl, because she's the new girl in the loft. Spoiler. It'd be funny because it's the first episode. I'm just being stupid. I'm sorry. I don't mean to I'm not making fun of you calling me out for doing spoilers on accident. I'm just saying it because it's funny. But anyway, but anywho, oh yeah, I want 2 on that, don't I? Yeah. 2, here we go. Ooh. Here we go, 2. There we go. Not the new episode. Okay, then I won't talk about it. Although when you do see it, I'd like you to kind of message me. If you would. Because I definitely don't want to talk spoilers. But there's something that didn't sit quite right with me. And that's as far as I'll talk about it, because that's enough. I will say it's really well written. Like, it's what you'd want out of an episode like that, but I also feel like I can't talk about it because we'll talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about on the cast. Yeah, we can, because I guess at that point, if people, we can warn people spoiler, and then if they don't want to talk about it, obviously they can just skip ahead. And if you want, when you're editing, well, is it going to be a live stream or is it going to be a recorded session? I can't remember which we're doing next. Because if it's a recorded session, you're going to be like, and we got to do some spoilers, huh? Fast forward to 2037 to avoid spoilers. Because at that point, it'll be a recording, and you can just, leave 5 seconds to delineate the time and be like, fast forward to 31:52 to avoid spoilers. But I mean, by the time it actually gets released, though, WandaVision will probably be wrapped. So, I mean, it's going to wrap up next week. As far as I know, they're on the last episode. Oh, we're doing it live. So yeah, then we should probably put like spoilers or something in the title so people know. Some people will go, no, I haven't watched the new one, because I will be that guy. Because here's the thing, I don't mind skipping spoilers or giving a warning, because some people can't watch something the minute it comes out. People say, well, just avoid the internet. Do you know how hard it is to avoid the internet when you work on it, guys? It's dang near impossible. How do you avoid the internet when it's everywhere? And then you could just hear a radio ad. You should hear what happened in the latest crazy thing that happened on the episode. Totally crazy. We've got so-and-so talking about that twist on that episode tomorrow on our show. And you're like, great, thanks. Because, I didn't have any desire to learn about a radio program you were going to run, much less any spoilers from the TV show I was waiting to see. But okay, thank you. What happens, though? I hate it. Actually, one person told me, just avoid the internet. I'm like, really? That's like saying somebody, okay, you don't like that people can give you spoilers? Just avoid the air. Like, a friend of mine posted this thing talking about how the internet is no longer a luxury. It's now a utility. It's like TV used to be. Or, yeah, like TV. I mean, like cable TV or something, It's a utility. It's no longer a luxury. It's a utility. It's a connection. People use internet to work. It's not like I use it to work. And you're like, wink, wink the whole time because it's not really for work. No, welcome to the new age where the internet is for work. So, it is a work connection. And if you don't have internet, you're left behind. Let's be honest, right, guys? If you don't have internet, you are left behind in this day and age. You're left behind in connection. You're left behind professionally. You're left behind, period. So you can't just say, oh, well, I don't have the internet. I got to avoid the internet. No, you can't. Like I said, you sooner just tell somebody to avoid, turning on the water in a day. Because I had one person tell me, oh, well, just don't read the spoiler articles. I wasn't reading a spoiler article when I was spoiled. What did I see? A photograph of episode 7. My one friend goes, yeah, I turned on Disney Plus, hadn't had a chance to watch WandaVision, the new trailer they put up for the episode, completely ruined the new one because they're trying to broadcast for the next one, and I haven't seen the last one. I'm like, right, dude? Tell me about it. Actually, you don't need to tell me about it because I lived it. But they can't wait to talk about the new thing. And the thing is, I hate to say it, but it's because there's such a pressure to be current. If you're not current, you're out of date. And I know it's kind of, obvious, but that's the mentality that's communicated. Be current or be left behind. And it's so dumb. Like, not everyone in their life can drop everything and watch everything that ever happened that was cool ever the minute it comes out. It's consumerism is what they're driving. Driving like this consumerism thing. That's what they're driving. This, I must have it now, gotta have it now, gotta have it now. It's a shame too, because, like I said, people have busy lives and then they get Christmas spoiled for them because, people can keep their mouths shut. Well, they can, they just choose not to. And I'm not talking about people like you and me people. I'm talking about like media outlets that report on these things. They just gotta spill the beans because if they don't get that cool story out there today, they don't get that essay out there right now, somebody else is going to cut their story and they're going to lose one click. Yeah, losing clicks. It makes me think of the Social Network. Because apparently they know, and you don't, that whoever gets there first wins. We're competitive rowers. You don't need to school us on getting there. The importance of getting there first. The Winklevi in the Social Network. Such a great movie if y'all haven't seen it. It really is. I harp on it all the time, but it's really, truly a great movie. Aaron Sorkin wrote the screenplay. If you don't know Aaron Sorkin, he co-wrote, or at least wrote from what I understand, most of the good seasons of The West Wing. So, if you like The West Wing at any point in time, probably it's because Aaron Sorkin was writing the screenplay, the scripts for that. And other things too. He's pretty awesome, Aaron Sorkin. But I really, really, really liked The Social Network. And he also, no, I was going to say he did, but no, he didn't. I was going to say I hoped he'd written Mankiewicz, but no, that was Fincher's dad that wrote that before he'd passed. I'm so stoked. This week is the Golden Globes. I'm looking forward to see if Mankiewicz wins any major awards. I love that stupid little movie. I've recommended it to so many people. They're like, what's it about? I'm like, the writer Herman Mankiewicz working on Citizen Kane, which it's about that, but it's more like it's about Mankiewicz and I want to say the fall of Hollywood, but a certain loss of innocence in Hollywood, I should say. And I think that's probably the best way of summing that up. A certain loss of innocence. Like I'll say Mankiewicz had a certain grasp of the old Hollywood that everybody thinks about fondly as old classic Hollywood, and basically kind of deals with the downfall of that whole mystique, like the dark side of the studio system and the folks that controlled it, I guess is a good way of looking at it. What we did watch last night, Arlene and I, we watched a cool movie that was really gritty. It's called what's it called? I Care a Lot, and that movie is bonkers. I will say it is bonkers, and I'm like, there was a twist in it, and I was like, watch this be true, because they weren't thinking about it. And guess what, folks? The very thing I said, watch this be true, because that would be the dumbest thing if they weren't paying attention. It was exactly that, and I was like, oh, you're so dumb. It's such a great twist. It happens very early in the movie, I will tell you that, so you don't have to wait long to be propelled into a story that's like, oh God, this is happening. It stars, I don't know who the main star is. I forget her name, but she's going to be talked about for a while if she's not already a well-known actress. But it also stars Ellen Burstyn. No, not Ellen Burstyn. Diane Weist, forget her name, and Peter Dinklage, proving once again why he's a man in charge. Such a great movie, but be prepared. It is gritty. There is language. I like to warn people when there's going to be language. Again, I don't care if there's language. I'm not going to blush, but at the same time, there's certain language I don't want to hear, and I don't want to steer people to a movie. And they're like, oh my gosh, this movie has so much language in it. Why would Jason recommend that? Well, I will say there's language in it. Well, same like Mankiewicz, but Mankiewicz, it's only to remind you that you're watching an event based on real life, even though it's shot like a 1940s. Mankiewicz is shot like a 1940s movie, but they use modern language as a reminder that this is supposedly a fictitious representation of reality. I don't think there's much more I can do on this, honestly. Oh, I had a heart attack. I thought I dropped my coffee. There's a bug on here, guys. He thought he could make me a star on stream. Hello, bug. He walked off the camera, guys. I guess he didn't want to be on he was camera shy. But Mankiewicz is really worth it, and so is I Care a Lot. It is, there's no other word for it, but bonkers. It is bonkers. It starts off really like, well, okay, this is interesting. And I'll tell you the basic premise, because that doesn't ruin the movie. The basic premise is outlined in the first 10 minutes of the movie, so it's not a spoiler. But basically, she is a professional, the main woman in the movie is a professional caregiver. Not caregiver, professional, what do I call it? Well, what's the word I'm looking for here, guys? Come on. Like a conservator. She's a professional conservator. She is a person that oversees to make sure someone's care is taken care of. Guardian, professional guardian. There we go. So she's often gets the guardianship of people. But here's the thing. It's a scam. Meaning she is a doctor that will tell her who's got, okay, this person's got money. Great. So what she'll do is she'll go to the courts and say, this old person can't live by themselves because they're in danger to themselves. The judge goes, do you have any doctor's proof? Here's my doctor's proof. Of course, it's her best friend. Okay, fantastic. So you have proof that they're a danger to themselves. Let's move them out of their home. So they move them home. They liquidate their funds. The funds go to the nursing home or the old folks home or whatever they're going to move into. And oh, by the way, when they do that, the remaining funds go to her. So basically what she's doing is she's finding lonely, isolated old folks, getting her friend to say, oh, by the way, they're not fit to live on their own anymore, getting a court order, kicking them out, and taking all their wealth. And you're like, what a cow. She does this for a living. And that's just the start. Like, that is the setup of the movie. And I promise you, it goes south real quick. It is so worth the watch. If just for Ellen Burstyn, I keep saying Ellen Burstyn. Diane Weist, who's an amazing, or Weist, she's an amazing actress. You know her as the mom from Edward Scissorhands, among other things. Fantastic. And then, of course, Peter Dinklage, always fantastic. And I don't know the lady that plays the main character, but she's so fantastic. Like I said, she's up for Golden Globes, understandably so, because her performance was incredible. If you don't know her now, you'll know her later. Cup of coffee. Hi. I know I've met you because I think you follow me on Twitter. Do you? You stream, don't you? Cup of coffee? Because I think I've seen some of your beautiful stuff, haven't I? I think I have. Let me see. I was trying to see if I can find. Oh, look at this. Well, I didn't know you could do all this in here. I can issue a permit. You've sent me 11 messages. I didn't know you could spy on all these things. My last stream was a while ago. Oh, okay. I know I've seen you in some people's rooms, but a lot of people I see in rooms also stream. Like I see you, I think, in Devi Cat's room. And I know a lot of people there stream, like Rasu streams, and if it's Devi Cat, I saw you in. See, I've asked you about it, so you can talk about it if you do stream or if you're planning on going back to streaming. I am very shy about asking, can I talk about my stream? Because I don't want to be self-promotional. But if I say, I usually am pretty game. If like, as long as you're not coming in here saying, you know, hey, come to watch my stream in 2 seconds. You can talk about streaming or not streaming or whatever you're doing. Because honestly, I'm here to help friends and help people grow. And we can't grow unless we know where we're at as people. I think it's very important. Again, I don't want anybody coming in here going, "Hi, I'm about to jump on stream. Come on over with me." But you're not doing that. So I'm always coy, though, about when I talk about streaming. But how are you? I'm sorry. I'm getting on a sidetrack here. How are you, Cup of Coffee? I think I've seen some of your beautiful stuff on. Because I want to say I've seen like some emotes you've done or something you've done on social media. I was like, oh, that's so lovely. I'll have to tell her next time I see. I'll have to tell Cup of Coffee next time I see them. This is way too dark. What am I doing with this color? This is a sabotage color. That's what I need to be doing. It's just that little bit right there. I'm very shy. I got scared for a little bit, and then I already streamed. I would love to go back though. Yeah, I've had a lot of folks tell me. I had one friendo. That was the friend. If you heard me earlier talking about a friend that I reached out to and kind of left them hanging, I said, "How are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm doing well. Really busy. How are you?" And I left them hanging on accident. That she used to stream. And I know she's shy, and some people were in her stream overwhelming her with, is it crazy that a lot of people can watch you right now? I'm like, shut up. Let her stream in peace. Don't overwhelm her. You know? Because I could see it was overwhelming her to know that all these people were watching her, because she knew it, but she was trying not to think about it. And all this person was doing was reminding her that. I'm like, don't do that. Because I knew my friend, and I knew her limits, and I was like, don't do that. I love these emotes. And look at these emotes you have. I'm peeking at your emotes. Because sometimes what I do is I look at, oh, that squishy one's pretty cute. I look at people's emotes because that's like, oh, like, I've learned a lot in the last couple of months about streaming. And one thing I've learned is I thought subscriptions were why would people pay to watch somebody? Seriously, why would they? And then I was like, well, they're not paying to watch me. They can watch me for free. And then I realized it's the emotes. Like, I started realizing, I'm like, wait a second. Some people have some really awesome emotes. I'm like, I'd pay that guy $2 a month to use those emotes. Like, especially the ones that have the big barrage of emotes. Because you're like, man, that person has like 20 emotes. If I subscribe, I'll get like a smiley face, a weird face, a funny face. Like with Debbie's, I'm looking at hers like, I can get a cat butt. I can get a sparkly heart. I can get frowny faces, happy faces, crazy faces. Plus, I can support one of my favorite artists. Why would you not do that for $2 a month? Or how much? I think it's $4, actually, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly. But I just think it's funny because I used to get it backwards. I used to think the money was to support the artist, and one of these days it'll come out. I should think the emotes are just a nice side effect. Yes, the Debbie Cat, but oh, do you have the right to flip that? Because, oh, were you the one that was in Debbie's stream today that went, oh, my camera went AWOL, didn't it? My bad. When did that go fuzzy, guys? How long ago has it been fuzzy? Were you the one that was in Debbie's channel that went for the higher tier so you get the right to flip her stuff? Because someone did that today, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Focus. Not auto. 52. 50. Okay, you're gonna be a butt, aren't you? Oh. Well, I didn't mean for that to happen, but okay. I don't know what. I guess I was out of focus the whole dang time. I went to 25. I was like, surprise, here's your camera in focus. Oh, hi, camera. But yeah, I forget, but no, it was somebody else. But I think you did it too. But still, I love Debbie's little cat butt. It's just stupid and cute, and I love it. It's like, oh. Clearly, you're at Debbie's channel. Clearly, we know each other from there. I know I've seen you other places, though, Cup of Coffee. I try to remember where I've seen everybody before. My memory's like a sieve, though, so yeah, that's not such a good thing if you're trying to remember people. But I do remember seeing you, I think, in Debbie's channel. Watching her go through some things this week. Sometimes I feel like it's like, whenever I have stream, it's like, this is the wrap up for Debbie's channel this week. It's like, I don't have my own stream, I just wrap up Debbie's. I just do a review of what happened this week in Debbie's channel. I watch it a lot though, because like I said, we have different art styles, but I love her streaming style. I mean, I like her art too, don't get me wrong, but I love her streaming style so much, the way she does her streams. It's just like she could be streaming baking potatoes, and I think I'd be watching, just because I like the way she streams. I like the way she carries herself, the way she the way she moderates the community. It's just wonderful. Like she does everything I'd want to do in a stream, as far as like how she expresses herself, where her limits are. I like that about her. But yeah, do you have some, if you have artwork that's safe for work to share? Not that, I don't think you've ever done anything not safe for work, cup of coffee. But if you've got something that's safe for work and you want to share it, please do. I never say that often enough. And also too, Matt, that goes to you as well. Like, I know I'm very shy about sharing links, because I don't want to be that guy that comes in my room and goes, hey everybody, look at my stuff. But I am like a lot of my friends that I have here on Twitch, and I'm also that mindset of, hey, I'm here to grow with y'all. You are not my competition. You guys we're growing in different ways together. See, art is not, this is something I talked about with a friend of mine on Facebook. Art is not a race, right? Art is not a race. We're not competing with each other to see who comes out in first. That's a race. This is a journey. A journey is made together. We're in a journey together. So that's not, we need to compete with each other and figure out what's going on and beat each other down. That is, hey, guys, we need to work together so we can all accomplish our different goals simultaneously while lifting each other up. That is a journey. And that's what we're all on, guys, when it comes to art. When it comes to life, it's a race, so get out of my way, I'll knock you down. No, I'm kidding, that part's also fake. It's also a journey, too. I will bowl you over. No, I'm kidding, I wouldn't do that either. I'd be the first person to probably bowl somebody over and be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? I didn't mean to do that. That would be me. Almost every rule I've ever broken was on accident. My hands are dyed at the moment. Oh no. Oh, from the eggs. I was like, what happened? We did talk about this though. I don't like this. This looks dumb. I hate that right there. That looks dumb. That's dumb. We're going to fix that. If I can get the drawing to turn around. Here we go. And there goes my B000 off the edge of the table because it ran out of room. It's like the three bears in the bed on Sesame Street, if y'all ever saw that. You know, three bears in the bed, little one said, I'm crowded, roll over. And then all the bears roll over and one fell out. And no matter how many bears are left, it's always like one bear less the next time. That moment. I love your emotes. Stop using Debbie's emotes. You're going to make me jealous. Image. Rotate. 9 degrees right, isn't it? Boink. That's absolutely right. So now I can start tweaking. Oh, see, look, the baby carriage is crooked. I'm always like, why does this look so wrong? It doesn't look like a good even curve. Because it's not a good even curve. It's a messed up little curve. Every time I hear this song, I can only think of one thing. My channel trailer. The funny part was I actually saw a YouTube video one time. I saw a lot of YouTube videos a lot of times. But I mean specifically, I saw a YouTube video that used this specific track from Ben's sound. And I'm like, you can't use that. That's my trailer music. Give it back. I love that you can make this look so realistic with Copics. Oh, thank you. Humbled. I'm very humbled by that, actually. Thank you. I love my Copics, though. I am losing a child tomorrow. I call my art children. I shouldn't. That makes children seem insignificant, I suppose. But I'm losing my drawing tomorrow. It's going back to its home, its original home. When I entered my Lindsay pinup, it was originally a gift to my friend Lindsay. I originally intended to gift it to her before I'd finished it. And then I finished it. Okay, here's the story, guys. So when I entered the Copic marker contest, I hadn't heard anything from it. And I originally intended to give Lindsay the drawing. Like, Lindsay's the model in the drawing. That's why it's called Lindsay Pinup. So she's the model in the drawing. And as a birthday present, I intended to give her the drawing. I meant to. But anyway, long story short, I entered it in the Copic marker contest, and it didn't seem like it went anywhere. Like, I entered it, I never heard anything back, and I was like, you know what? I didn't get anything. That's fine. Whatever. But there was a point I was just like, I don't want to see this drawing anymore. It just reminds me of entering the contest and not going anywhere. So it's just as well I'm giving it away to Lindsay, because I don't want to see it anymore. So I give it to Lindsay, and she says, have you heard from the drawing? I was like, no, nothing's happened with the drawing. I figure I wasn't picked, or I would have heard by now. And so anyway, I gave it to her. Didn't think twice about it. Because, I mean, it was already gifted to her anyway. It was already intended to be for her. So then I finally get an email buried deep in my emails that I gotten like 4 days earlier. And it says, congratulations on being selected for the Copic marker contest. I was like, wait, what? What? I was picked? Like, I was just done with looking at the drawing. I didn't want to even see it anymore because I was like embarrassed by it, because I was just like, I don't want to remind me of how I failed. Or sorry, I thought I failed. Entering a contest and losing or not being picked doesn't make you a failure, but that was the mindset I was going through at the time. And then here it was picked. And I was like, Lindsay, she's like, what? I said, remember that drawing I gave you? I brought it back for a while. And she was like, what's going on? And I was like, it was nominated for being, it was nominated for the finalist. Oh my gosh, it's so great. I'm like, yeah, but I need the drawing back and it's yours. She was like almost like, that was the least of the worries. Don't even worry about that. And I was like, that's cool, you know? So I got it back for 6 months. 6 months of this. And I felt bad because it's like, it's been her drawing for 6 months, and she hasn't even had it because the marker contest wanted it. You know, they took it, I'm gonna say they took it. It was an extended loan. So while it was over there, they framed it. They give it a nice frame. So you have to mail it. Yeah, you have to mail it in if it's a finalist. So I mailed it in. They got a hold of it in Japan. I mailed it in July. They got it in late August. I mean, mailed it late July. They got it early August. It's been in Japan since August. And then they're like, we're going to ship it back, but we're going to professionally frame it, and it's going to be yours. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. So it's professionally framed. But at the same time, 6 months later, earlier this February, I finally got the drawing back. I'm like, Lindsay, your drawing's back. She's like, oh, wonderful, thank you. And, you know, I felt bad because I'm like, I literally gave her the drawing, brought it back, got it back from her immediately, and then sent it to Japan for 6 months. And I felt horrible because it's been her drawing for 6 months. I mean, for a year, and she hasn't even owned it in her possession, but for like a week. And it was already back. It was already in Japan, like in the next 7 months. So it was pretty funny. I was gonna say I can show you a link of what it is. If you're on my Instagram, you see this drawing of a red car, and a woman in the front seat, holding her sunglasses in the front seat. That's the drawing. Plus, it's been shared on Copic's account, so if you follow Copic Marker, you've probably seen it on there. It was shared by both the Copic official channel and the Copic Award channel. They have 2 channels. Well, actually, 3 channels. They have the Copic Award, Copic Regular, which is the corporate page, and also they have a. Try to see where the pencil mark is. It's right there. Because I'm gonna probably crop this out. Not tonight. I'm not gonna cut it tonight. I think I'm about done with the marker stages of it. I'm trying to make sure there's no shines or anything weird. I feel like it's about done from the most part. Let me take a piece of paper or something to do the ruler so I can make sure the edges are nice and clean and colored all the way up to the edge. So there's the pencil marks there, and there, I think. Yeah, so that's where it'd be cropped right there, so yeah. And then, of course, the bottom one's like right here. Yep, that's painted past it. And then this one is definitely here to here. So yeah, when you crop this out, it'll be completely right. So I want to color past the edges, so if I trim it out, it'll be good. I'm not sure because one person was like, "Oh, neat, you left all the color markings on the side," and I was like, "I could always leave them there, but I don't know who'd want to frame it like that." But I mean, I guess they could. But I mean, it's cool information for other artists because it gives them a color chart of what colors were used, and I don't know, it could be interesting. And it's, like I said, certainly marked to be cropped if desired. Looking for the orange color I used there. I think it was this one, wasn't it? YR24? Yep, this one. Because I see a dot that needs to be filled in. There we go. Perfect. All right, so the next point is gouache point. Gouache is going to be for the little hair bits. What time is it? 10:30. Okay, we're making good time. Ah, good stuff. I have a tube of titanium white gouache. Looks like this, guys. It's basically opaque watercolor. That's what it is. And I have a brush that I use for this. If I don't, I can use an inking brush because gouache washes out pretty easily. Gouache is like I said, an opaque watercolor, so a nice brush can be just fine for doing this. And I might use an old inking brush because ink is far more corrosive to a brush than is dear sweet gouache. Because gouache, like I said, is an opaque watercolor, so it's water soluble. Like if you spill water on it, it's gone. So there is a sealant for it. I don't know what it is or how you get it. So the only trick is obviously anybody that gets this is going to have to be careful with the drawing and not drop it in a bucket of water because it'll dissolve it away. Do I want to use this brush? This one's pretty old and tired. Is this the older and tireder one? Oh, that's the Winsor Newton one. I thought I liked the Winsor Newton. Wasn't a huge fan, actually. The Winsor Newton Series 7 is actually used by, I think, Terry Moore. Here's the other one. This is the brand new one. This is the one I've been saving. That one. Never throw away an old brush unless it's absolutely unusable. But this one's not unusable. It's still quite usable. It's just a little bit old. It's a little old and seen better days. We're going to pop in some whites down here in a second. Let me go get a cup of water and a way to actually blend the water. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to not go into break screen because it's going to take me like 2 seconds. I got my palette right here. Bam. It's just an old paper plate. And we'll paint some white hairs on this little dude. Be right back. See, that took like 2 seconds. But fun fact, guys, gouache is actually a medium favored by a very famous artist known by Alex Ross. He is a very famous comic book artist. Very talented one, too. Ooh, that's separated a lot. Ew, come on. Ew, this is like messed up white. Let's see if I can mix it up real good. There we go. I don't know what happened here. It's got all cruddy and stuff. Haven't used it in a while. That could be part of it. I was going to put it back in the, leached quite a bit. See if I can scrape out some of this crap and put it back in the tube. See if maybe stirring it up some will help. It is not happy looking. That's a weird smell too. So is Jason when he's not supposed to be smelling this paint. Wink, come on. Tamp it down in there. Don't spatter. There we go. weird. It's like an off-white color. Did the Copic site change to something called World of Markers? Not that I know of. Goodness sakes. Now maybe they have a World of Markers branding on it. I don't know. I've never heard of that before. Of course, maybe they also bought out a couple of new brands or something and decided to call themselves World of Markers. It's been a while since I've been to the site. They also were doing this love contest that I was not able to participate in, so they may have branded some of that for that. Come on, baby. Get in there. Tamp it down in there. I didn't think you were supposed to shake this, but maybe you're supposed to shake this stuff. It's been a while since I've used it, so... I'll have to pull it up in a minute. I don't have my internet open. I mean, I have internet open. Obviously, I wouldn't be streaming on Twitch. But I mean, when I say I don't have the internet open, I don't have like a browser open right now. And if I open a browser, it's going to open about 20 tabs that are going to have, some of them have YouTube videos in them, or at least a Twitch stream or two. Get in there, come on. You can get in there. There you go. There we go. Got most of this crap back in the tube. Oh, I can't find the English site. Yes, the thing is, it's all in Japanese, so I don't know if they even have an English site. They again, on Instagram, it's Copic. It's Copic, and then I think it's Copic Official, and then it's Copic Award, and then it's Copic Official US for the US version of the Instagram. Come on, get in there. There we go. Stuff's being really weird. Come on, get in there. It's making little bubbles here. Zoop. I mean, I hardly ever use this tube, so I'm like, how do I stir it when it's almost full? Let's try this. Let's try just like this much, and then capping this bad boy, and then doing that. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, because it's like, it's, oh yes, that helps. I don't know what's going on here, but it's very liquidy. But yeah, so in other words, yeah, the Copic award site. It's like Copic I think it's Copic _ award, and it's Copic official, and then it's Copic official US. Those are the Instagram account names. Come on, stop doing that. No, don't spill over. Don't spill over. Come on, you can be good. Don't be bad. It says permanent white, but it's funny because how permanent of white can it be when it's water soluble? You know, but minor details, guys. Minor details. I thought I was going to have to water this down, but I don't think I'm going to have to because it's like... Hopefully this will be good. I had a paper towel collection here somewhere. There we go. Oh, I dropped it down here. That's what happened. Yeah, see, that's a much purer white than we had a second ago. I thought I was going to have to wet it down. Make sure that gouache doesn't get too wet and leak through the bottom. Woo, that brush got a little bit dried out. Because it will dry in the brush. But even so, it's water soluble, so I mean, how dry is it going to get? Okay, I'm going to do a quick test run in a margin of the paper to make sure that the white doesn't look yellow. No, that's white. That's a nice crisp white. That's what we want. Has a slightly yellowish tinge in some parts of it. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to rotate the reference back 90 degrees to the right. Image, rotate 90 degrees right. I'm going to start popping in some of these whites here. Nothing in the eyes. The eyes, believe it or not, are not that white in parts, but there are parts in the here. We're going to start from left to right, basically. Might have to hit things twice because I'd rather be a thin layer to start with. I can always heighten it up with more white as I get along. And also I'm working from right to left as well, so that I don't put my hands in wet paint as much as possible. You can see that good. So a little bit of lines there. There we go. Starting to get a little bit there. Let me get some, see if we can get some more pure white buried in there somewhere. I'm going to shake it really good. I'm hoping it, I mean, I feel something rolling around in there. I hope it's not like too much of a collection of crud. I hope it's actually I hope it actually got mixed through pretty well. Yeah, that's much purer white. I can't tell if it's bubbles or crud in it. Let me see. Being that it's gravitating toward each other, I think it's bubbles. It is bubbles. Good. That's much better. I guess I should have tried shaking it first. That's a lot of white wasted, but I'd rather have it wasted and be right than be... There we go. There we go. This really reminds me of early Star Wars concept. Oh, thank you. I should be so flattered. I wish. Actually, I kind of befriended not one of the Star Wars actual artists, but one of the official poster designers. He didn't do the original posters, but he did a lot of reissue stuff for LucasArts. So when they reissued Raiders of the Lost Ark, he did poster art for that when it was re-released to theaters. A 25th anniversary. His name's Mark Ratz, R-A-A-T-S, 2 A's. He's an Australian artist. And was often contracted by LucasArts to do a lot of the poster art and even just conceptual art in general. I'm not saying like the character art, but I'm talking about because that was Andrew McQuarrie who did a lot of the original Star Wars art, I believe. And then like I said, Mark Ratz does a lot of modern day poster work for them, not the classic ones, but like I said, a lot of the reissues, he would do posters for the reissues and stuff. So he does beautiful stuff. He was actually commissioned by Christopher Nolan to do a poster for what's the name of that movie? Dunkirk. I don't think it was actually used, but he was actually he was like, I want a concept about for Dunkirk. So that's kind of cool. I was basically asked to do that. He gets all these really cool commissions, and I'm always like, oh, neat. And he's been very, every once in a while I'll see him pop up, Mark Ratz liked your post. I'm like, what? Why is he liking my post? He's this famous artist doing all these cool things, and I'm just a nobody. But he would always and he still does. And I'll comment and share his art on my Facebook and stuff. He's super cool people. He's been really nice. And he's very forthcoming about did a commission for this thing, did a commission for that thing. Oh, a private collector bought this piece, and he does a lot of Indiana Jones stuff. He specializes in LucasArts stuff. So LucasFilms, Lucasfilms. So he does a lot of stuff for Indiana Jones. A lot of the Star Wars stuff he's kind of did designs for. Yeah, poster. Yeah, if you look at Mark Ratz, R-A-A-T-S, you'll probably find a lot of stuff. Dude, if you've got a photo, share it. I mean, I'm sure you probably haven't posted it to social media yet, but I had one thing I never remember to do, which I'll have to remember to do tonight when the rating is done. I just want a little bit more of a crazier hair there. There we go. It's looking kind of good on the top edge there when all the hairs are coming out. The good thing about gouache is you can thin it down, so I can do some things over here in the area. Just thin it down just a little bit. I want to kill this top edge. I actually showed this to another streamer named Art by Smashly, and she's like, "Oh, I love the glow you've got on the edge." I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell. I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of accidental, but I'll take it. I'll take that as a happy side effect of the blending of the markers." I did kind of do it a little bit on purpose, but you know, some of it was kind of like the look of the draw. Okay, do this real quick. I know I said working from right to left, but I see a little area that might want a little bit of love. It also helps if you spread out your highlights. Like, don't put them all in the same spot. Even if you don't see a spot, just put a dot somewhere just so it balances it out. It works. It's quite effective, actually, keeping everything look uniform. So I'm going to put a little bit of peach fuzz on the top of this without killing that nice little edge I have. Okay. If I hold my head at a certain angle, I can actually see where the gouache is and isn't, which helps. So, there we go. It's coming along. This is kind of one of those things that's the final touches, so as long as I do take my time. A happy glow. Exactly, a happy glow. Not to steal something from Bob Ross, but nice little glow there. It's not super white. I was hoping to be a lot brighter than this, but it's okay. It could be because the tube of paint's old. It wasn't mixed well. I don't know, but any number of things. But at the same time, you know, I'll take even a little bit of a... You can still see the hairs. That's the most important part. You can see the hairs. That's what I wanted to be able to do, was to see the hairs. I'm going to see if I can touch up here and see if I can get a little bit heightened more in the white. Yeah, and then heightened it up a little bit, but I do feel like it's a little bit more yellow. It's colored more like the paper than it is not like the paper, and I was kind of hoping to be less like the paper and more white. Let's do a few hairs pulled off of there. And there's a couple crazy hairs right there. Oh, oh. I say he's ready for some chicky nuggies. Trying to diversify my length of and width of the lines of the hairs and the placements, so they don't all look too, you know, posted on, you know, too tacked on at the end. There we go. There's a few hairs back here. Again, I don't want to go too crazy, but I do want to add a little bit. I also don't want to keep them the same length either, so some of them I need to go a little crazier on. So just keep them from being... Now, there are a certain uniform length, but again, we don't want to be too much like the same. Otherwise, it's going to read like it's just... Like right there is enough space. It needs a little bit of... There we go. Oh wow, this is starting to stiffen up really good. That's what happens with the paint. It gets a little bit of, keeps in contact with that air a little bit more. Okay, and there was some parts I wanted to kind of touch up here. Like there's a crease right there I want to add in there. And there's also a little spot right here to heighten up the wrinkles in his forehead just a little bit more. Without killing too much of that. Okay. The main goal here is to preserve this top wrinkle right here. I just want to preserve this one right here. Make this one really stand out. And then, of course, a little bit in the top parts doesn't hurt either, like here. And then you might be able to see it because of the shine of the paper. It may kind of hide it somewhat. But again, if I can get a little bit in there, if it's a little bit straggly, that's fine. The main goal is to get that edge there for me. Just so you know, red clay will stain your hands. No! Oh no, Matt, you didn't get too deep in that red clay. Devil's dirt. For the record, I've never heard it called the devil's dirt, but it fits. Indy, why does the ground bleed? Except it's not ground, it's not blood, it's just the red clay from South Carolina. It's not the best kind of dirt. Let's just say if red clay was a commodity, we'd be rich with it. But it's not, so we're not. And that stinks. Oop, I don't like that one. The good news is when it's still wet, you can kind of take your finger and smear it. That's a technical term. Okay, let me take a good look at it. It. This is me call Grogu it. Let me take a good look at it. I do want to kind of pop a little bit of a highlight here. Give it a shaky shake. There's quite a caking of paint around the edge of this thing. Actually, when I'm thinking of it, otherwise it's going to get caked on there and make it just going to just dry on there, and you're not going to be able to get this tube. Well, you'll be able to get this tube open in Christmas next year. So we're going to make sure that that's cleaned up around the edges, so that next time I won't have to break it open or something. Okay, we're close. Grogu! Exactly. That's a nice stiff white paint. He had to pre-cake the cane scale for the dragon eggs tomorrow. Oh, I had to pre-cake. Or I think that's what he said, pre-cake. Oh, I got some paint on me. Like, that's a tremendous surprise. Anybody that knows me knows if I'm not covered in paint, I probably haven't been painting. Like, I legitimately get more paint on me. I try not to, because I know it's not exactly the healthiest thing in the world to have on your skin. But just because it's not the healthiest thing in the world to have on your skin does not mean it's not going to happen to me. Oh, it's going to happen to me regardless. It's going to happen to me regardless. I'm covered in paint. I'm trying to find a little bit spot so we can add a little bit more. Break it up a little bit so it's not like too even. Let me do a quick rotation of this. Oh, pre-make. Pre-cake sounds like a good word for clay too, doesn't it? Pre-cake it. Let's rotate this real quick, guys. Image, rotate 180 degrees so I can look at the hair patterns. Okay, I'm not trying to follow a pattern. I'm trying to not follow a pattern, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make sure that it looks as scattered as the original hair does. So looking at the original hair gives me a little bit better of a feel for how it should look overall. There's a lot of fine hairs in the back of his head. There we go, much better. I'm also doing a lot of straight lines, so I'm like, no, let's make them less straight lines. Let's make them a little curvy too. Alright, let's do this one here. Pre-mix. True, so you pump for Sunday. 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 Wait, what happened Sunday? I'm just kidding. 7 o'clock, right, man? $7, and we're doing this live, aren't we? We're doing this live, aren't we? I haven't thought about how we're going to do this. Work has been so crazy, I forgot to even research it, but I think there are ways of having more than one channel for a person, but I think it's a group thing, and I don't know if individuals can do it. Like I saw, there's a group called Art Insomniacs, I think it is. They have their own channel, but I never see anybody on it, so I'm like, is it just a dummy channel? I don't understand how it works. I think it would be just simpler if we just broadcast our own. Just broadcast and do it that way. Call it a day. Call it a thing. I was going to try adding colored pencils to this maybe, but I'm also like, no, you know what? I don't feel like it needs colored pencils. I feel like it's going to be probably pretty clear on this. Okay, there's a little bit of blink right here in white. Boink. Yeah, I think we're done. What time is it? 11 o'clock on the dot, as I say. I think we're done with this, guys. And I'm like, 11 o'clock. Perfect timing. Wasn't trying to end at 11 o'clock on the dot, but we'll go with it. Oh, too much. I'm going to clean the brush real quick. If I start nitpicking this, I'll nitpick this till I'm crazy. Crazier than I am already. There we go. Much better. All right. There's little Grogu. Now, do I want to sign this in gouache? No, I want to sign this in Copic marker because otherwise the gouache could wipe away. And I'd rather not wipe away the gouache. Because then no one will ever know who did it if the gouache wipes away. So, there we go. And, oh, one more thing. The gouache shouldn't wipe away. Again, whoever has... Oh, gross. Look at this. I got cool oil slick over here. We can just stream one through the channel hosting the other. Yeah, I think you should host, and I'll stream through mine as a guest. I think that might work out good. Because that way you have control over everything. Rather than, hey, could you do this? Could you start that? Could you click on this? No. My butt would be like so far behind. You'll be thinking about it like, no. Let you just have control. And there's little hairs that come off like this. So I'm going to do those little hairs like this. Okay, so... Might take a little bit of water and thin some of this down. It's starting to get a little thick and it's getting hard to move. And I'd rather not have to get up another squirt of this paint. It's already been not the best behaving paint tonight, so I don't want to have to go back for seconds. Or in this case, I guess fourths at this point. Plus, it can be thinned with water without any problems, so... Boom, 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 boom. I think we're about ready to call this done with chicken nuggets. little bit here, though, that I'm not quite satisfied with. It looks like the hairs are floating above the head. So tie some of those a little bit deeper into the hair. There we go. One there. It's a little bit, needs to be tied in. A little there. A little there. A little bit better. That's not so bad, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let me go ahead and dump out this water real quick before it dissolves through the bottom of this Dixie cup. That would be disastrous. We don't want it to dissolve through the bottom of the Dixie cup because then I'll be spilling all over the countertop and potentially ruining Baby Yoda. So let's not do that. I think he's about done. He looks adorable. I'm not even going to lie. We set at 7, go live at 7:30 or 8. Okay, sounds good. That makes sense. And I'll be camera ready because, I mean, I'm always camera ready even though I'm not really, you know, it's not really a video cast. I still say, I'm camera ready. Let me go to the main page. No, not the main page. Let me dump out this water real quick. And then we will call it a night. Maybe a little chit chat before we go. And there goes that marker on the ground. Love you, babe. I got a heck of a cleanup time before this is all over with. So let's pick a color. I'm going to probably pick a very inconspicuous color. Make sure I'm within the crop marks. W3 should be enough, but I think I'm going to go a darker color. What's my darker color? W5. Let's see how dark that is. Yeah, we'll try that. Making sure I'm within the crop marks because I don't want to be too far away. There we go. Cute. Not too conspicuous. I don't want to be too crazy with it. Thank God. There's that done. He's cute. First steps first is to do a social media post because we're about to raid somebody. Not immediately, but the other thing I want to talk about is I don't know how I do this yet. I'm going to probably have a print of him.
The shadow fold.
Oh, my bad. That's my phone. I was like, what the heck was that? Like, I'm hearing music. I'm hearing music. I didn't know what it was. I was like, what in the blue blazes was that? And it was like, oh, it's this random Facebook video that pulled up before I did this. Okay, Grogu. Come on, buddy. Cute. Now I'm going to try to adjust it so that he looks like he does in the real life. Never mind, he looks pretty cool. If I zoom in on him. Yeah, if I zoom in on him. I might make some tweaks outside of this, but we'll just go and call it done for right now. We're just calling him done. He's so pretty dang close, it's not even worth talking about. There we go. So we're going to call it done. I'm sorry, the blue smallberry, whatever, or, what is his name? I'm so sorry. Somebody disappeared on me. But, they said they'd be back, the small blueberry, I think it was. Yeah, small blueberry. Like, I'll be back. And I was like, okay. And they never came back. That stinks. That's okay, though. Gotta adjust my camera now. It needs to be rotated. Crop. It's under the crop, which is crazy. There we go. Save copy. Now, I'm probably going to sell prints of this when I scan them. And then I'm going to probably do a giveaway of the original. Don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I don't know if I'm going to do it based on a raffle ticket system, if I'm going to do it based on subscribers. I don't want to do it off of followers. The reason being is that I have a lot of people that follow me that have never been to my channel. They followed me because they're my friend. They're like, oh, let me sign on. They signed on. They never image rotate 180 degrees. They've never been to my channel. They've just friend followed me. So I don't want to give it to somebody that's gonna be like, hey, I've talked to you 2 years ago, and I hope you're doing well. You followed my Twitch channel, and I appreciate that, friendo, in real life. However, I gave away my drawing, and you won. What's your mailing address? That doesn't feel right. I feel like I should reward active viewers in this channel, and I don't feel like doing a raffle ticket system, because then I don't want to have people to have to pay for a ticket and then get nothing. I always feel bad when people pay $5 and get nothing. Now they're supporting the channel, but I'm not a huge fan of that either. I'd rather that they get something for their money, and getting nothing for their money feels kind of crappy. And I can't give everybody a prize because then I'll go bankrupt giving prizes out. So I thought about doing like a subscription. Like if you're a subscriber, you get a ticket. But at the same time, I don't really get many subscribers, so I'm still working it out. The one thing is true. I'll be selling prints of this. But will I be giving away? How will I be giving away the drawing? I don't know yet. I'm working that out. So let me go ahead and post this on Twitch. Well, it's a post on Twitch. We're live right now, guys. Let me post this on Twitter. I got to get the VODs for the other one. Who liked this? Lawless didn't come in. She usually comes in. I'm surprised she didn't. Maybe she tried coming in. I wasn't in yet. New stream to my next time. Baby Yoda. Yoda is done. Yofa is done. Copic markers and gouache. It says markers apostrophe S. No, markers and white gouache. Gouache. There we go. So I'm going to add the image of the rotated one. That one. Who's in this photo? How about the Mandalorian? The Mandalorian can be tagged in posts. Oh, there you are. I see Cup of Coffee on Twitter. Hi, Cup of Coffee on Twitter. I should also tag Copic markers. Copic. Copic marker, I don't think lets you do Copic markers. Let's see. Copic can't be tagged in photos. Copic official US can. Gotcha. Done. Maybe I should do. Would I be gutsy enough to do tag Jon Favreau? Guys, dream big. Jon Favreau. Boink. There you go, Jon Favreau. Looking forward to seeing the speed version too. Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a minute to edit it because I'm gonna have to take. I have a new video editing software I'm gonna try because it's better than the other video editing softwares that are out there. But I have to trim out the bits. But the thing is, if it's a little rough in parts, it's gonna be okay because you're not gonna see the rough bits because it's gonna be so fast. It's not gonna matter. Exactly, disappear by magic, as she said, as Cup of Coffee said. So I've just tweeted it. Yar, that's good to go. Chaiza followed me, and I followed Chaiza back. Okay, so we got that. We've got that all done, don't we? Baby Yoda's a wrap. Now, next stream is probably going to be me working on Matt's drawing, because I need to, as a community. It'd be a nice community day. And then after that, I don't know. I hope to get Matt's drawing done in a day, because I don't want him to wait too long. Probably I'll work on Jack Sparrow. No, I might do Allison designs. I've got so many things I want to do about Allison. So I might design a new overlay so I can show like what I'm doing with Allison. And let's go ahead and get my Chrome started. It's going to be a butt because everything's going to want to broadcast sound. And I'm like, no sound. I did pare it down though. Kane Sparrow. Did I actually follow this person? I meant to, but my computer is being complete butt, so I don't know. We go, Kane Sparrow. They look like they were doing cool stuff on Twitch. And my computer's being button. I'm like, I need to go to stream. So, bye. Did I follow them? They look like they were doing beautiful art. But, again, it was being poopy, so I couldn't stick around. I think I hit the follow button. Let's see. I also got some inking things I can practice, but inking on stream's kind of boring. Okay, that was a crazy thing. Sorry, guys. Did follow them, so that's good news. Who's on? Stream Deck. Who's on? That was a funny statement to have. Randomly show up on stream. Why don't let my dumb TikToks give you? That was funny. Made you look Super Mario. Oh, she's... No. Nagy's doing what? Nagy is... we should do Russell Stewart. He's doing cool things. There's Jen. There's Jade. It's her birthday, isn't it? Jade's birthday. 7 of 7's on. Cassidy's on. We've seen Cassidy before, haven't we? We've seen Cassidy. She was doing... Yeah, we have. She was doing those really cool paintings. We've seen Cassidy. Jen's on. Jen's doing a beautiful piece. But I don't think we've rated Russell Stewart art. I know I had less viewers this time. I didn't put it in everybody's Discords. Shame on me. Always doing VR sculpting. And it's not as exciting to me. He's cool, but I don't want to watch VR sculpting. Sculpting. Cozy art. Thought about rating Nagy, but Nagy's very high energy and she can be a little... I just realized something. I wasn't on mute. Sorry, y'all. You know what? Let's see what... Let's just... Okay. Word of warning. If I do go raid Nagy, she is a little adult. So, word of warning. It can get pretty mature in there sometimes. So, again, diversity. Doesn't hurt. I knew Nagy wasn't going to be... Neki wasn't going to be on. It's not her night. This is her Saturday. She's not going to be on. What's Jade doing? I'm on stream, like, wiping my face. Sorry, guys. I'm, like, sitting here stroking my beard. If I stroke my beard thusly. Late night birthday stream. Sketching Florida's animals. Let's raid Jade. She's an old convention friend of mine. She's a dear friend of mine. Jade has helped me so much. She really has, though. Jade was a good friend of mine. The reason... Oh, let's see. Do it. It's going to be majestic. No, you wasn't. What am I missing over here, guys? This is what happens when I step away. This is what happens. I can't leave you alone for a minute. I'm just kidding. You guys are wonderful. Looking forward to Speed version 2. Do it. It's going to be majestic. Oh, no, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. Okay. Yeah. Video editing software. There was one, I forget what it's called. Lightning something or other. I meant to check it out. So yeah, Jade, I was gonna raid, Nagasaki, cause she's pretty cool sometimes. She's cool a lot of times. She's also the head of the stream team that Jen Creation is on. So that Jen's team is Nagy's the head of it. But I think I'm gonna raid Jade. Because it looks like she's trying to hold a regular, normal stream. Because the last time I rated her, she was doing a goofy stream, and she felt embarrassed about it. I don't know. This looks like a goofy stream, too. She's probably going to be like, don't come in. I don't know. Okay. We'll put it to the test here, guys. We'll put this to the test. Let me look at what Nagy's doing, and I'll take it to a vote. We'll take it to a vote. It'll be community choice. Because I like both of them. Oh, this might be a good night to raid Nagy, though. Oh, both are good. Nagy's painting? She hasn't painted in so long. Okay, guys. We have two choices. We have Jade the Honor, who is super cool. She's been my friend for years. And this won't go away. It's okay. It'll be all right. Jade the Otter, who's my friend. It's also her birthday. You wasn't muted. Oh, I see. Yeah. We have two choices. Like I said, we have Jade the Otter. It's her birthday. She's streaming her goofy drawings. She's doing goofy drawings of animals that are mythical. Like she's goofing around with drawing animals typical to Florida because she's from Florida. She's cool. She's been my friend for years. Then there's Nagy. Nagy's a little bit more serious, but she's also a little bit more adult. So word of warning, content. What Jade can be too. Jade can be too. Nagy is doing a painting. It looks rather lovely. She hasn't painted in quite a hot minute. She's been doing sculpture and a lot of gameplay. And what was the other thing she was doing recently? I don't remember. She's not been doing much. What would you guys like to be? What would you guys like to raid? Both I've known for years. I've known both for years. What do you think, guys? It's like I said, Jade's birthday, but Nagy's is probably not goofing off as much. Both are awesome creators. They both are. I've never met Nagy. I do know Jade personally, but I've been in Nagy's room enough times. She knows me. If I come in there, she'd be like, Jason, what's up? She doesn't know me. It's not like a total stranger. Painting. Okay. Yeah, because Jade's doing digital drawing. But the painting she's drawing, that Nagy's doing, is absolutely beautiful. I'm so proud of her for the painting, too. I haven't seen her paint in a while. Yeah, we're going to rate her. Because, this looks like one of our tamer streams, so I think this might be a good opportunity to rate her. Because sometimes it can get pretty racy, but she actually does, she'll read nursery rhymes. Not nursery rhymes. She'll read nursery stories sometimes. But it can get a little bit adult. But not because the nursery rhymes, the Hans Christian Andersen tales are a little bit more adult. It's crazy how adult they were. They talk about dismemberment and stuff. I'm like, what the crap? Why are they talking about beheading people? What is going on here? And she's reading it straight from the Hans Christian Andersen original. Matt, we've talked about this. So I think you do raid. I've only done it through the Stream Deck. Not Stream Deck, through the channel manager. There's supposed to be, you can do a raid command through this. So let's do that. I'm supposed to be able to do raid and this. We'll raid Nagasaki. No matches. No, let's do it through the main system. I'd hate for this to fail. And fail it will. And it will fail into the ages. It would fail. Like I said, Nagy hasn't painted in forever. I'm so proud to see her painting again. She went through a period where she wasn't streaming for a couple months. And so I'm glad to see her painting again. I don't want people to do something that makes them feel uncomfortable. But when they feel comfortable again, I love when they feel comfortable again and they get back to what they were doing. Oh, makes me feel so good. Oh, she's actually on the live channels you think you'd like. I mean, I follow her already. Why would I not like her channel? Durr, I'm following her, dumb. Sometimes Twitch does the dumb thing where it suggests people you already follow. It's like, I already know that person. And the thing is, it'll suggest everybody on her team. And I'm like, I know most of the team, okay? Stop being stupid, Twitch. You're sending me back to the same places I already know. Okay, here we go. Let's do a 60 raid channel. Here we go, raid channel. You know what I like. Sorry, I'm reading your post. It's a sketch. Matt, you know what I like. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull up the thing. It's taking a minute to load. Thanks, guys, for being patient. It is raid channel time. Pick a live channel. Who do you think I'm going to pick? Pick Nagy. I've never rated Nagy. I wonder if she's going to be excited to see me or not. This is going to be interesting. She has 86 viewers. We'll see. This will be fun. Please don't be spicy, Nagy. Please don't be spicy, Nagy. Please don't be spicy, Nagy. Oh, let's go. I think we're going. I think we're going now. We are ready to go. Okay. I will see you guys later.